So annuities is really a way to move money at retirement, qualified money or non-qualified money, into a continual tax-deferred position, meaning monies that you saved in your retirement through your 401k, 450, 403b, or 457 plan is generally money that's not been taxed. So at retirement, many people seek to roll that over without paying the taxes all at once. If they did in an IRA or a Roth IRA, that means you are going to go ahead and pay those taxes immediately. And if you did pay immediately, hey, out of 100,000, now you give the government 30,000 right up front. I don't recommend that. There's a better way when you can roll that annuity over, qualified as tax deferred, and pick up a bonus of possibly 10% with an indexed annuity, and it continues to grow tax deferred, and you can start taking your income. And it's better to pay 30% on maybe 10 or 15,000 or 20,000 than to pay it on the entire 100 at one time. And so annuity allows you to do tax deferred, allow your money still to grow tax deferred, while the percentage, when you start taking an income from it, you pay the taxes on that percentage you take an income on. So the companies we work with set up, they have immediate annuities, which means, okay, I'm retiring and I want to start taking my lifetime income on this money right away. So if you got $800,000 divided by 20 years and 12 months, then that's the income you're going to receive monthly. But while it's paying you monthly immediately, you're paying taxes on that year of what you did receive. However, what you didn't receive is still maybe accumulating at an interest rate of 1 or 2% and growing, and still growing tax deferred. So you're not all at once paying taxes on the money coming out, but you have established a new income stream. And in this process, that's the annuity type number one, an immediate annuity. I mean, I'm going to start receiving my lifetime income right now. Okay. The second is a multi-rate annuity. Multi-rate annuity said, well, I don't need to start receiving this money. I want to grow. I'm coming out of retirement. I wanted to grow tax deferred continually, and in 3, 5, or 10 years, I'll be ready to start taking me an income, possibly. Don't have to, but that'll be your discretion. So a multi-rate gives you a little bit higher interest rate to let it sit there, maybe 3, 4, 5% for the 3, 5, or 7 years. Then when it comes out, you begin to take an income. And on that income you receive, likewise, as in that year, you pay taxes on what you receive. The remaining part grows tax deferred. The third type of annuity is the index annuity, which is really beautiful because many people love that. It can give you up to, when you roll it over out of your 401k, you can pick up an additional up to 8, possibly even 10% bonus there day one. So if you had 300,000, you'll pick up an additional 24,000 right away at 8%. That's a huge difference to make when you start taking your income down the road much greater per month and much greater per year. But you do have to leave that in that tax deferred status for at least 10 years or even 14. Given that they did give you the bonus. You do have access to at least 10% without any penalties. If you're not 59.5, then you have access of 10% of that money without any penalties that you can pull out, and what you pull out up to 10% each year, you will be taxed on that, but not penalized because you're beyond that threshold of 59.5. So that grows your money, where the money is also growing at a compounded daily rate. That's the beautiful thing about annuities. You earn compounded interest, not just a basic simple interest. So you have a fixed interest rate that's compounded daily, which when you understand compounded rules, Rule 72, which any money earning compounded interest every 6 years should double. And it's based on about a 6% rate. But even compounded daily on any type of money is good growth. So the money's growing compounded daily. in the index annuity, they have an additional feature of the indices. The indices allows you to put portions of the money or in different buckets called the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, or different other investment options that acts like the stocks. However, the thing is that they're not fully in the market, so you don't share any market losses. But the downside of it is if the market excels beyond what the indices will give you at a flat rate, 4% or 5%, and the market went up 30%, you're only going to get that 5% gain. But the sweet spot about that is if the market crashed, you don't have to start over losing your principal and losing the gains that you had. You keep your principal at all time and you keep your gains, so you never lose money. So these are fixed annuities. Each one of these are fixed annuity where there's not a loss. They're not affected by the market that you would ever lose a dime. So the whole point of it is with the goals of the money, you can do all three. You can do an immediate annuity for a portion of the money you want to start receiving now as a lifetime income, and you can delay some of it for a multi-rate 3 to 5 years, so you can turn that on and start receiving as income, and you can delay some even further while it's building up. And so by layering it into an index, all three of those, you can never run out of money. And that's the whole point of those particular annuities. There are variable annuities, which we do not offer. Variable annuity is affected by the market, and you can lose every dime. Some of them, they say they have a floor, but if you lose what you've gained, it's like starting a race and then having to start the race back over because the market went down. So whatever you had gained, you got to come back and go back to forward again. Whereas in these fixed annuities, you always go forward. You're never losing a dime. You have access to 10% without any penalty before age 59 and a half that you can withdraw, and you can turn it on as a lifetime income. When you do turn it on as a lifetime income on the indexed annuity, that means that's set and that's going to pay out the lifetime, and whatever's left should you transition before it's paid out will go to your family and they'll pay the taxes on what they get. Okay, so that's the annuity. Typically you want to have at least 50,000 to 100,000 or greater in doing these annuities. The interesting thing is that you don't have to physically qualify in them, but you do have to have the financial income to debt ratio, at least 32% that you have in monies based on your income debt ratio that says you wouldn't have to suffer a penalty and turn it right back around and pull the money out of the annuity, because you can't, because normally you're going to have a lock-in for 3, 5, or 10 or 14 years. And so suitability, but there's a suitability law that says basically, does this meet your financial position? Can you really afford this? I had one gentleman, and I'll close with this story. One gentleman, he wanted to roll over $80,000 in an annuity from his retirement, but he had no other financial means. So it had to stay in his 401k. They wouldn't allow him to roll it because of the income to debt ratio. And maybe we could have actually rolled over 10,000, but since he had no other assets, it was not smart to move that. The government does not want you to position people that they're going to pay penalties on top of taxes on top of penalties to access their money because you locked it away. We locked it away with a 3-year, 5-year, or 10-year plan. So it has to meet your suitability requirements. It has to meet your income debt ratio that you have the ability to pay your bills, doctors, medical, hospital, home repairs, and whatever could happen without needing to touch this money to put it in the annuity. And that gives us peace of mind that it's a right fit for you and that it meets those guidelines and those standards.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You are welcome so much. That's it, Miss